Take a seat, sit back, and relax, because you are listening to Real Talk Radio, where the talk gets real. Welcome to Big Brother All-Star Edition.
Week 1 recap.
Welcome everybody to Real Talk Radio. This is the Binge edition, more so the Big Brother All-Star edition, and week 1 is done.
And we are going to talk about it. So if you haven't watched weeks 1 in its entirety, I would recommend doing so, because this will be recapping everything that has happened. I am not alone. I am with my BB fanatics. Here with me is, of course, Stephanie. How are you doing?
Hey, welcome. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, for sure. It was quite a week. Week went by, though. Gee golly. And, of course, we are with the other BB fanatic here, CC. How's it going?
Hey, it's going well. Definitely, yeah, Friday arrived way too soon, for sure.
And you know what? Usually I would complain, but that just means I watched 3 episodes of Big Brother, and it is back, and I am happy, and we got some stuff to talk about. So, yeah, I guess let's start from Sunday's episode.
Yeah, where to begin? First of all, I thought waiting until Sunday was excruciating.
Yep.
Because I was like, what? No Thursday episode? We got 2 hours on Wednesday, which was great, but then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, I was like, oh, so finally it was on. I liked the first episode. I think it gave a good premise of like how the games were starting, and the intro to the safety suite and everything. I have a lot to say about how Cody could have done better with not kind of blowing his game up with Janelle and Kaysar, because they caught on right away that he was going to put them up. So that's just like a side note there, but
I mean, that's fine. It's essentially in the episode. So it's in the episode we're going to be talking about, but let's go right there. So safety suite, we know what it is now. So essentially before the nominations happen, you have a time frame of when to use this safety suite. You go in, you ring the doorbell, and then I guess if you're the only one, you just win it.
I would assume so, yeah.
So that's what the safety suite is about. Basically, they give you a time frame during the day to use it. There's a clock on the main TV in the living room, and then that is counting down. And we see that no one wants to be the first to use it, because if they use it, they're a target, and everybody doesn't want to become targets. Right off the bat, we see that Janelle and Kaysar kind of seem uneasy, because they just know that they're looked at as big targets just to begin with. But
plus, I mean, it's all stars. Everybody's technically a target right now.
Exactly. I think it goes back to your point earlier about it was because of their conversations with Cody. I mean, this is where Cody tried to do something I think that he didn't have a lot of practice with in his previous games, which is he doesn't know how to make people feel comfortable without committing. So they just looked at him and were like, yeah, you're giving me nothing, so you don't even want to talk to me, you don't want to engage with me, I'm in danger.
Exactly. And I feel like he did really well with everybody else because it was sincere, but like he could have just been like, yeah, you guys are good, you're great players, I have no targets this week, let's go for the weakest people. He could have played that a little better, because I'm a little bit of a Cody fan, so I was like, really, bro? Really? Like he kind of like was, yeah, like you say, a little bit unseasoned there.
Yeah.
Not his forte.
That's it. So because Janelle just knew right away. First of all, Janelle, she knows how to read people well, and Kaysar is very calm. So he also knows how to they've played this game twice, so they know how to read together.
Janelle's been there. She's her 4th now, so it's like,
That's it. And and they just called BS right away, because he just gave these like vague answers that was kind of like, okay, cool story, bro. I guess I'm not safe, so might as well use it. But then they both use it.
So I'm so confused by the choice to both use it. Like, if only one person used it, you're going to save each other. Why not save the past?
Exactly. I agree.
For the next
Because,
week.
they were going to save each other anyways, I think.
Because it was like down to the wire, right? It was like the last 60 seconds.
I feel like
Kaysar
that was just edited that way though, because Big Brother has a way of making things be more dramatic than it really is.
No, but you really saw the clock at the bottom, and it was 30 seconds, and you saw, like, Kaysar decide to run past the living room, up to the thing on the top, and even, like, people were downstairs saying, no, there's 30 seconds, and then Janelle's like, you're gonna do it? And he's like, yeah, fuck it, and then she did. My bad, I swore, but...
That's fine.
Yeah,
so, I don't know, and maybe... Like, I was also kind of wondering that too. I'm like, but why did you both use it?
I think it was a bad call on her part, but I think it was an impulse, and she didn't realize that, like, because it was such a last-minute decision, it was a very much of an impulse, and they didn't think it through, because I think now she's looking back like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have used it, because Kaysar probably would have saved me anyways.
Yeah, and just, like, looking over her shoulder and being like, there's no one else on this floor with 10 seconds left. Like, I don't need to scan.
Yeah.
Like, I think if someone else had been, like, racing to the door, then, yeah, maybe scan it, but...
And I don't know, I think maybe they were confused also, I feel, by the safety suite. Because, yes, I agree with the whole impulse, but I'm sorry, if you're seeing that clock for all that time, like, when did they talk to Cody, technically, right? When did they talk to Cody, and then when was it at that time frame? Like, I feel like they would have talked about it. So I think also, too, there's something there in terms of maybe they didn't necessarily know how it worked, or maybe if they both did it, they were both safe. Because I felt weird, because they know each other really well. And yeah, because they ultimately would have saved each other, because they ended up having to have the fight against each other in the DJ competition, which was super fun.
I really like that competition.
Which
I like
Janelle
it too.
also did horribly in 16 minutes.
Yeah, that's for the comp beast Janelle. Yeah, that was a poor performance.
I mean, that's it. I was like, whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, damn, Janelle. Like,
they're a little older than they used to be, right?
That's it.
The
Twinkle.
memory ain't the same.
That's it. That remix of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star got people messed up, you know? So.
I thought it was really funny because I'm like, I literally hear this song all the time, so this is hilarious.
Never getting away from the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Nope, not happening.
Nope.
So yeah, Kaysar wins it, and then he's like, yeah, I'm taking Janelle. Janelle's all surprised.
Surprise.
Yeah, and Cody's angry.
Yeah. Well, I kind of just on the choosing ceremony, like where she was like act surprised. I think that's when she was like, that was not smart strategically.
Yeah.
Right? Save somebody else. I don't think it was necessarily surprise because of her relationship with Kaysar, but surprise because, well, I competed too. Like, maybe use this to build something outside of me. There's risk in that, but...
And I think Kaysar doesn't really feel strong enough with anyone else, though, at that point. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that first day of school. You know, you don't really know anyone else, but your best friend is there with you. Hey, I'm going to choose my best friend for everything because I trust my best friend the most, and we're all in the same classes. Okay, I'll stop with the school analogy. But yeah, that's how I think he kind of maybe perhaps felt, and was just like, well, I don't know who else to choose. I'm not really, I guess I didn't build. It was one day in, or the second day, right? So how much relationship building can you technically have built? So I guess that's why he was just like, Janelle, cool story, you know?
Yeah.
So this is also where then Cody and Enzo, I believe it's now I'm mixing up. No, I believe it was on this episode where they end up making their little faction, their Jersey Boy faction with the Rue.
Well, I think they're talking about it, but I don't think it gets like its name until Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Fair
I think
enough.
Enzo is like all on board, but Cody, we don't see the Cody half of that conversation yet, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so basically they're just trying to wonder who to pick. Kevin, and now I remember Kevin because he's exactly the same.
See, I don't find he's exactly this. I find he's so much wimpier this time around.
Oh,
Agreed.
This is like, this is in a different episode, so maybe let's not jump ahead because I have a lot to say on Kevin's demeanor this week.
Oh, me too. Me
I
too.
figured you would.
Well, wasn't it this episode though where he wanted to talk with Cody before nominations?
Yeah, we
So
had
that's what I
that
was referring to. So he was,
vulnerability attempt moment that was
made him look so weak.
difficult to watch. Difficult to watch.
Yeah, like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you showing you're that weak though? Like, this is
Exactly.
not gonna work. This is not Big Brother No Stars. This is Big Brother All Stars. You know, like.
See, but I think this furthers our speculations last week that he was a sub in because you could see that he feels out of place. And he's like, there's all these people here and they're all legends and I don't understand why I'm here. And like, I feel like I didn't get this much of his, like, clearly he suffers from mental health issues. We all do. But you could really see his anxiety and his self-confidence is coming out way more than it did the last time I saw him on TV. I don't remember seeing this at all on TV last time. He was upbeat and fun and, you know, and I feel like now he's just so scared and he's like, he feels like he doesn't belong. So I feel like because he probably knows he was a sub in, it's probably playing on that a lot more too.
Have you guys found anything out about that? Because I haven't looked at the BB
No,
wheel
this is
in
just speculation still, but you know, he made a comment about not feeling in his place with everyone that he's playing with. He goes, these are all, you know, legends and they're all superstar players, and you know, he's like these are the people that I'm in the house, like almost like he doesn't understand why he's with these people, like.
But didn't he win? Wasn't he like third or fourth?
Exactly. The first time around, he did a great job, but it's almost as if his confidence isn't coming through this time, which is totally like blow-minding me. I'm not understanding why he's coming out so weak, you know?
He's married and he wants to have a child with his husband. Like,
well, the thing is the Kevin that we see in the diary room is not the Kevin we see in the house editing. So I'm wondering how much of this is production and how much of this is how he is all the time at the house right now. Because you'll see him in the diary room and he like totally turns on and it's like, that's the Kevin I remember.
Right.
Yeah. But if you saw him on the chopping block on eviction night, the guy looked like he was going to throw up.
Yeah. Truth.
And I was like, if everyone was voting for Keisha and a lot of people already, like week one, you go with the house, you know who the vote's going for. You know, even Keisha knew she was going because everybody was ignoring her already. And that's a telltale sign in Big Brother that you're getting voted out. But like he was sitting on the edge of his seat, shaking his legs, looking like he was like pale as a ghost, like he was going to throw up, like he didn't know what was going to happen. And I'm like, that's so not him, you know?
So here's the thing, right? With the editing, I agree because I feel like Big Brother does edit a lot. And we're going to go through that with the next episode. This episode, though, Sunday's episode, technically. There was nothing else. Okay, so the nominations. So Kevin kind of going to Cody, hey, listen, I really want to work with you, blah, blah, blah. Don't put me up. I feel like I have nobody. Cody's like, yeah, you're cool with me. Don't worry, bro. Cody was like, I don't know. I feel bad, but I don't want to get any blood in my hands. And ends up nominating Kevin and Keisha. And then that was it. I don't think there was anything necessarily on that episode.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I wanted to talk about was like, what was Nicole F and Cody that I think they started their conversation and her going like straight for Big Brother tropes on an All-Star episode? Like, I'll get some girls together and you get some guys together. Like, what? I just was like, what are you saying? That's never going to work in All-Stars. Why are we even talking about cliches?
I feel like that was just a one-off conversation. Okay. I don't know. I feel maybe not. Maybe it's something that they're going through, but it's just with a lot of the editing, which I technically will get to, because there's something on the next one that really pissed me off, and I always know where Big Brother is kind of going when they try to throw us a loop, and then it ends up being what it's supposed to be, and I'm like, well, screw you. I already knew this because you do it every year and every nomination. But yeah, so I feel like that might have been a one-off, and, you know, Nicole was talking like Nicole talks. Wednesday's episode. So this is
the Power of Veto episode.
And where to begin?
A lot happened. Holy crap.
I believe it starts off with Kevin kind of feeling vulnerable again and talking with Ian and trying to talk with Ian and Enzo in the bathroom.
And David, those
And David.
conversations were so cringeworthy. My gosh.
Yeah. I was like, it sounds like you're begging people who you have not built a relationship with yet. It was weird.
And I don't mean to put you in a spot, or I don't mean to put you in a bad
Yeah,
place.
right. The same
No,
spiel
bro.
with everybody.
Yeah, like, what is this? Stop with this nice guy attitude. Like, this is not gonna work. No one's gonna sympathize or empathize with you. This is not the place. This is not a, I want you to give me money. Look how bad I'm doing. This is, bro, we're playing a game. Like, man up a little and, just be you and be confident. This whole little, I'm a crybaby, I feel bad, I'm not doing anything. And look, I don't know, the guy might be down on himself, and I get it, and it's the Big Brother house or whatever, but you have to be a little more confident in yourself, especially when you're talking to people.
Even if you don't believe it, you gotta fake it till you make it in Big Brother. Because once they smell fear, that's when it's game over for you in Big Brother.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or, not necessarily though, because then if he's already weak, right? If they see that he's already weak, they can always use him for later on. That's why I felt he used the same thing as he did on his season. Like, I still feel he was that feeling vulnerable about himself, because I don't see. Again, it's been a while.
Yeah, I kind of remember the dichotomy, but I don't think I remember it being this extreme with how he is like diary room versus in the house, or the footage that we see. But I don't remember it being quite this extreme. But I think it's also because the personalities he's surrounded by with, right? So usual seasons, we have a few people who are like that. Few people who kind of lose themselves or are shaken in the first couple weeks. So.
And it's been a while since he's been in the house too, and the demographic has changed perhaps a bit. But after that, we then get a few little things. So there seems to be an alliance. I believe they called themselves Black Magic, if I'm not mistaken, between Davon and Bailey.
Yes,
Yep.
I like that.
Yep. I like that too.
Well, that's kudos to you, Cece. I pretty much took what you said.
Well, I just a whole list of random names that popped out, but yeah,
I feel like that was one of them though. I feel like they did. They said a few. They said a few, and I don't know. Big Brother didn't mention to us which one they picked, I guess. But yeah, so they're working together, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
I think it could go real well. I mean, it could blow up. I think Davon might underestimate Bailey's volatility. So we'll see how that goes. But just because Bailey's still quick to react, and she doesn't have the experience to be like, she's not as seasoned as Davon, right?
Yeah,
so
Davon knows by now that she can't do that, where Bailey might not. Maybe Bailey probably is coming in thinking, yeah, I can't do that, but in the moment she might not think that. It'll probably just happen.
And so here's the thing too, right? And so in this episode, they also did go towards Enzo and Is it Enzo
Cody.
and Cody?
yeah,
Or was it Memphis and Cody? It was Enzo and Cody, right?
Enzo and Cody, yeah.
Enzo and Cody, okay. So then I guess that's because I'm like, who's going to be the competitive person here? Because I don't remember Davon being... Actually, no, she was... Davon was pretty decently competitive, and Bailey I don't know because I didn't watch her season. And then, but I was like, okay, but you guys need more people. And then when they went to Enzo and Cody, I was like, okay, that's smart.
I'm sure Bailey won a little bit though when she was in her season. After Swaggy C left, I think she had a competition or two that she might have. I can't remember.
I think
exactly,
so. Otherwise,
but
I think she would have been gone a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember her winning something.
Something. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have liked them maybe to infiltrate the house kind of deal. But I guess that's what they're kind of doing with making the thing with Cody and Enzo and whatever. But I don't know if I wanted them to be together necessarily, because I would have rather they'd kind of did the whole, okay, check on that side, I'll check on that side kind of thing, and we'll play both sides.
But I feel like because they're very similar and they're two black girls, I feel like the house would probably assume that they're working together anyway. So at this point, just make it official, you know?
Really? People would just assume that? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Two black
Yeah.
people are
Because
working
black
together?
people always stick together, you know?
I mean, yeah, but no one thinks that about David. No one
Yeah.
thinks that about David.
Not
no,
yet.
if they were smart, they would have brought him in too.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying too. I was like, they just need to bring David in, and then they got it. But I do love the fact that it's very clear that it's like Davon and Bailey and Cody and Enzo, and they're as pairs coming together. There's not this facade of like some group,
Right.
which like leaves them very like maneuverable because they can pair off. They can hit different parts of the house within their group if they commit to it.
Well,
Well,
I think
it's smart too because no one's gonna assume they're working with each other. They'll just think that the duos are working together.
Exactly.
that's it. And with that, I feel like they also went to other people. No, Enzo and Cody,
Oh yes.
right? So they're kind of going all over the house, though, and there was a lot of groups and factions. Tyler, first of all,
Oh.
is apparently with everybody.
Repeat of his season.
Repeat. I was really hoping he wouldn't do this, but this is what I was
he was
saying.
hoping to.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was hoping that too, exactly.
But it wasn't. He never initiates anything, and so this is what I was saying. Which, if he's smart, he can make this work because people come to him and like they ask him. But the problem is now he's got himself in the same pickle, and nothing's gonna be real from it.
Yeah.
So.
And plus,
Yeah.
you know, in the Big Brother house, you never say no to it like a deal, because then
Yeah.
that makes you like it makes people even more fishy, you know, about you. So he had no choice. It's true, he had no choice.
But I just found that funny, and everyone's coming. Oh yeah, we should be like we should be final two. I'm like, bro, your social game is on point. Like,
Yeah, everyone knows that you know, and people want to work with him, so they figured why not approach him first and see how it goes.
smart. But again,
Short
we should
memory.
know how he is. Yeah, short memory, amnesia. No one remembers the season at all. It was just last year. Forget about it. Or the year before. Forget about it. Jeez.
People get into the Big Brother house and they get hype, and then
Yeah.
all that goes out the window because you're seeing the guy for what he is, and you're like, that's Tyler. He's so cool. He was such a good player, and then you forget everything else.
So, one, we were also talking about in terms of factions, we thought they were going to go against each other, but Cody and Memphis seem to be
Yeah.
also another little duo going on as well.
So I was gonna say, Steph and I owe you an apology
Yeah.
because you called it. We shut it down. So I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I
No,
mean, that's what Julie Chen was, trying to do, but
Yeah. But what I really loved about that duo and how they came together was because they recognized the value in the other person, but they
Yeah.
both think that they're the one that's going to be on top this time. And it's the key is that loyalty. They have that proof in the pudding of I can stick to something till the end. And they both have that. But I don't think either of them really wants to go to final two with the other one.
no, that's it. I don't think
they're
so.
better off aligning together for the right now because they know that if they're on the other side, that it's worse for them.
Yeah, and they're comp beasts. So if they work together for now, at least until like final 6 or something, by all means. Cody still has Enzo. I don't think Memphis has anybody that we saw at least yet. So this is just nothing but good news for Cody all around. He essentially has himself 3 factions right now that seem legit enough.
And they're calling themselves the Commission for anybody who is into those
Commission.
names.
Right, that's it. Why the Commission? Because it was the Hitman and the Brigade, and then it's just like the Commission.
Well, Commission has like a few things, right? There's like spies has some undertone there, and assassins.
Oh, okay.
So like there's some undertone there with the Commission, which is why I referred to his little plan of like the group of 6 as like the company, because if you have the Commission and the company, so that's
Fair. Yeah, that makes sense. Look at them go. Little smart little buggers.
But he made it very clear that his allegiance is to Enzo.
Yeah.
And Nicole. Because he
Yeah.
has his little side deal with Nicole too.
Right. Yeah. So That's it. And then I think, was it this episode? Was it Nicole who didn't know who Tyler was?
No, Keisha.
Keisha.
Oh,
That was
Keisha.
Thursday's episode.
Oh, that
Oh
was
yeah,
Keisha.
well, yeah, that's
Okay.
Thursdays. Oh.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hence why Keisha should go.
Oh
I
my
was
goodness.
saying, like, who is she?
Well, Cody nominated being like, I don't know who she is. Like literally, he's like, I don't.
Yeah.
He didn't recognize her,
Neither
much
did
like
I.
we didn't. Right?
No, that's it. Yeah. That's.
And she
It's
won
been a while.
America's Favorite House Guest. Like, could have fooled me.
She definitely didn't get popular in age, that's for sure. I don't. So, yeah, and then basically power veto time. So I don't exactly remember who picked who, but I do have the names of who played the power of veto. Unless
Kevin
you
got house guest choice.
right.
Keisha picked Ian, and Cody picked whoever the other person
Tyler.
played. I can't remember. Tyler.
Tyler.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. And this game was a stacking game. Yay! Which Kevin was doing great in, but for some reason he looked at Keisha's stack and was like, "Oh, she has 19.
He should have just put it
go."
in.
Yeah,
Again, this goes to seasoned experience of like actually like those in the moment game decisions. You lock that in. You beat the last person who locked in. You lock in. And she
Yeah.
had like 2 minutes left or something.
Yeah, and there was a high possibility it was gonna fall anyways. Like,
Yeah. So bummer.
Yeah. That's it. And then he ended up messing up and ran out of time, and bummer. And then so your boy Enzo ends up winning it.
Meow Meow won something.
Yeah.
I
Woohoo.
like him. He's doing well. I like him.
He's doing well. He still has that annoying Jersey Italian thing going, but a more mature, annoying Jersey Italian thing going, which isn't as bad, which might sound weird. You know what I mean? He's more mature
he's
about
wiser.
it, I guess.
A little
He's
wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he won. They were considering maybe backdooring Ian, and this is where the editing comes in that I
Of
freaking
course,
hate.
they always gotta make them talk about it just to, give the viewers a little bit of doubt, especially when it's a slam dunk.
But it never happens. That's the issue that I have with it, because it's always they're going to this route, like they're not gonna use it, and then before the power of veto ceremony happens, they make this little thing, and they end up making you like, oh, but now they're maybe not gonna use it on them, they're gonna use it on this person. They always do it, is what pisses me off, because when they were talking about Ian, I was like, oh, okay, because he's kind of just. I think the reason why they wanted to put him up at that time was just simply because he was talking to Nicole,
Yeah.
and then Enzo saw that,
Yeah.
and then they stopped talking, and he's like, oh, there's something fishy going on, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we should backdoor Ian, which, FYI, is probably what they should have done.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Big game moves, bro. This is All-Stars. Get the guy who won Big Brother already.
Yeah, already, exactly. If they were smart, that's like no one will make big moves the week one because, Cody won and he wouldn't put up Nicole, but whoever was first HOH should have put up Nicole and Ian, straight up.
Straight up.
Like, your reason is you guys already won, you shouldn't be here. We should all have the chance. Thank you, bye.
And no one would hate that, right? We maybe would have also said, bro, that was such a safe move. But again, Kevin and Keisha,
But also
Big
Brother, and people I think the Big Brother mentality is that any little excuse you could use to put a target on someone's back, you could use it. And putting someone up is the easiest thing. Well, you put me up, so I'm going to put you up. And Cody just didn't want that. So I think that's what it comes down to ultimately.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it also because of his relationship with Nicole. Right. So I think there was too many webs kind of already building, so it makes it kind of difficult to be like, oh, just kidding.
Right, and they made it seem like they had like a pregame alliance, Nicole and Cody. I don't know if you
Nicole-
caught that. There was
Yeah, a little bit. And Nicole and Ian as well. Ian implied that as well.
Yeah,
a little.
like Cody even says, like, oh, me and Nicole has, or Nicole was talking about like how Cody and her spoke before and that they agreed to have each other's backs, and I'm like, huh, interesting.
Oh, but they didn't necessarily show that footage. They just kind of talked about it.
Basically, Nicole said it in a diary when they were
Mhm.
having their talk about their final two deal.
Oh.
She said it in the diary room.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't catch that.
Whereas Ian just said, me and Nicole have known each other a long time, so because we are just longtime friends, we automatically would have each other's back. It was different. It was like a different context from how
I guess so.
Nicole said it. Yeah.
Yeah. And being the 2-time winners, I think they don't really like the only
Have a choice,
potential
yeah,
2-time winners, right? They kind of have to.
Yeah, they have to. Oh wait, you guys were talking about Ian and Nicole.
Both at the
Both,
same
yeah.
time.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it would only make sense that they work together for sure, though. I mean, it made sense. Hey, I respect you. We both won. We should keep each other safe, so on and so forth. FYI, did you guys know that Ian had autism?
You know what? I was shocked to hear that, but I'm like not surprised, but I was like, huh. Like I would have
You-
never guessed, but
So it didn't surprise me. I was not shocked. What I was surprised by was that he was so vulnerable about it. And then I remembered who was in the room, and it was Nicole. Nicole
Right.
A. Right?
Right.
And so she works with kids with
Right.
autism, right? So I think it was that bond that made him be like, I feel like this is a safe place for me to say this.
yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't surprised necessarily.
And
Makes
I
sense.
think, and I don't think he necessarily. It definitely was that bond because he never mentioned that at all. That on his season.
No.
At all. And I guess maybe he kind of figured that everyone knew that because he's like, when you Google my name, the fourth one is autism.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
a
I'm
lot of
like-
people speculated that's why, but, just because of how his tells were, but like someone who doesn't know any autistic people wouldn't necessarily catch on.
hmm I mean, I knew he was kind of socially awkward, and that might be something, some kind of form of autism, but I just thought, just some people are just socially awkward. And I was just like, okay. I mean, like, I was shocked, but then I was like, okay, that might explain why he's so reserved and calm and, just keeps to himself. But I was still shocked to see how he didn't want to be that poster child, if you will, or feel great about being a winner with autism. Like, he didn't even want to kind of give that any form of light. He just was
Yeah,
like,
and then Nicole was like, "No, you should, because people should know that, which I think made him feel a little bit better about it too. But like, yeah, like not surprised, but like I really just didn't know. Like, like he says, he doesn't want it to be, like a part of him in the sense where like it doesn't define him. So I understand that, but I also
Right.
think it's good to have that awareness so that
I
other
think-
people know that they could do this.
I think there's also like this piece of, wanting to be confident in your win. And I feel like he's so calculated and so strategic and so cerebral in that way that it would be like, no, I'm going to win this on like I don't want any sympathy. I don't want any special
Right.
Yeah.
considerations.
Yeah,
I
good
don't
point.
want to play that defense card. I want to win because I played a really good game. So I think that might have played into it. So on his season anyways. So I think now it's like he either realized people knew or was feeling comfortable to be able to say that.
I was just humbled, I guess, by his unwillingness to bring it kind of up, and for the fact that Ian would have insecurities about that. And it just although this guy should be super confident because he has one, he's doing great in his life, he has a girlfriend, and everything seems to be going right for him, but there is still that somewhat of an insecurity about him. And that's why I love the whole Big Brother atmosphere, right? Because we get to see people of all acts of life and get to see how they would behave and act upon certain things. So it was just humbling, I guess, to see that from Ian. And yeah, I don't know. That's why I love the game.
Beautiful. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
All that. So yeah, sorry, I just went on an Ian tangent there. And yeah, so all that to say that Enzo says it's too early, bro, and doesn't want to use the power of veto, and
Womp
is
womp womp.
Womp womp womp.
and is keeping Keisha and Kevin up there, and I don't mind.
I'm not brokenhearted.
Nope, nope.
It's week 1.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Someone's got to go, and if someone's got to go, Kevin and Keisha, I'm not angry at all.
I think we would feel different if it was Janelle and Kaysar on the block, and then a move wasn't made. I think we would feel very different.
I think we would too. Honestly, as much as Janelle, a lot of people don't like Janelle. I think she can be a little bitchy, but I love her. I
Ugh.
absolutely love her just because I know how competitive she is.
I've
and then I
never
love-
liked watching her. Never enjoyed watching her. Never.
She's just,
Her
I don't
nose
know.
bothers me a little bit, which, I feel like bad saying it because I'm like, I'm not here to judge based on looks, but I can't look at her nose every time she's in the diary room. I can't do it.
Oh, yeah. Poor thing.
I mean, to be fair, I think her nose is better than Keisha's, but we're not here to judge her like that.
We're not here to talk about that.
No.
Be nice.
That's it. So the thing is, that DJ competition got me a little weird. I was kind of wondering, but Janelle, are you the same Janelle that we saw 10 years ago? Do you still have a competitive bag? 16 minutes? I mean, I shouldn't say anything. It's probably I'd get like 30 minutes with that game. But I love Janelle and Kaysar. I don't know what it is about them. I just love them when I saw them as a duo back then, and it still brought me back those memories of them two just being partners and having a killer relationship. Definitely would have felt a bit different in that regard. I do feel Janelle or Kaysar would have won that POV, and Janelle would have stacked her way through life in that competition if she's the same Janelle as like 14 years ago. And then
We wait and see now.
we wait and see. So that's it for Wednesday's episode, I guess. Was there anything else kind of?
No, just the appearance of this term that I'm starting to really like, which is called the working relationship. This is new Big Brother vocabulary.
Okay, I maybe didn't catch on to this.
It appeared multiple times.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's a working relationship. They've referenced to each other like we have a good working relationship, and it was like a few different people in a few different ways. It was interesting. It's like, yeah, it's like these maneuverable pieces. So anyways, that was the appearance of this new vocabulary.
But it's like people that could help your game, but like you don't have to be 100% loyal to. Like for right now, it's so we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And who is technically in a working relationship?
Basically anybody who's made any sort of semblance of agreement to protect each other. I think it goes beyond like what we see with like there's some relationships and stuff, like they're communicating well or they're getting along. But it's like this, yeah, it's just this new vocabulary that's suddenly been introduced to the game. And I kind of like it because it's like, we're working together, but there's no commitment. So it makes it like this really flexible thing, which I think will be really interesting to watch.
Yet they all have names.
I agree.
So it's a working relationship.
No, not all of them. No. Not all of these are alliances.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
That's the thing. It's like a non-alliance alliance.
Yeah.
Well, that just confuses me. Fine. It's a working relationship. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like that working relationship term, though, is going to be something for the first few weeks, and then it's have to be Alliance City because the game is going to get to the nitty gritty. But you guys were right, though. It's purely competition based, I feel. Although it's still only the first week. No one's kind of, I feel, in that, like, people are just doing alliances or working relationships right away and just starting to make moves and not just kind of chillaxing. They're all-stars after all, so, except Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin wasn't doing anything. Just sobbing.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just easier to like, they're starting to make a lot of deals early on. Like, clearly there's a lot more that happened than what editing showed us, which is the case all the time. But
right.
I think the fact that they all kind of know each other or know about each other, it makes it easier to form alliances quicker than if it was just 16 strangers who still need to get to know each other and know who these people are.
This is also very true. And so that's the thing, right? So I have access to the live feeds. I don't go onto it all the time. Cece was the one that mentioned the Mean Girls Alliance.
So it's not actually the name. That's just what I call it because
But that's fine.
I don't like Janelle. I also don't like Nicole F. or Danny. I've never liked them in any of their previous seasons.
So you just don't like blondes.
Apparently, I have some prejudice against
Okay.
blondes. No, actually, all for very, very different reasons. But yeah, no, she, I was reading some articles because I don't have access to live feeds. Too much time to dedicate to that. But they were joking and kind of twittering about how they like ghosted Nicole A when she started her podcast, and they thought it was really funny, and they like were really questioning why Nicole A was in the house. Yeah, and so it was like that's why I called them the Mean Girl Alliance, and I feel like that's kind of how they're shaping out to play based on what I've seen. They're very like segregating and like they're really siloing, and it's really kind of bizarre in the limited footage we've seen. And then teaming up with Cody and Enzo, I was like, no, please don't. But we'll see. It's just a popular click that I don't want to see happen.
By the way, we also forgot another working relationship in our alliance. We have the one with Christmas and Nicole and
and Memphis
and Memphis, and so there is that one too.
That's the one I'm calling the company.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Okay,
kind of
I'm
missed
sorry.
that one, Justin.
My bad. Yeah. No. Like,
Yeah.
I thought the company was just the two hitmen. The hitman.
No,
and
they're the
That's
commission.
the commission. Oh Jesus. Why?
Because then Memphis went out and was playing telephone with everybody, and they just kind of created the company around the assassins commission.
Snap. Okay, fine. My bad. I gotta pay more attention, I guess. I don't know.
Come on, keep up.
Wednesdays is
You're
hard
dealing
for
with
me
some
though.
BB fanatics here, you know.
I know. But Wednesdays is hard. I have like a wrestling thing. I have hockey. I have Big Brother. It's I don't know what to DVR and what to watch first and what
You
to.
gotta read your recaps before the podcast on Fridays.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Take
But
notes. Take notes.
I took notes. That's the sad part. I just didn't remember the company. I was trying to keep track of everything, and then I was anyway. Excuses are excuses. There's no excuses here. It is what it is. And then so that was Wednesday. Bunch of factions. Nothing happens to POV. Thursday, here we are, and essentially, I feel like.
I think it just solidified Keisha in my mind as like, even if she hadn't have gone home, I think I would have been really disappointed.
Yeah.
Like she didn't like wrong names, doesn't know who people are, thinks everybody should know who she is. I'm like, why? I don't know why you're here. I have no idea why you're here.
I mean, to be fair though, if you were voted America's favorite house guest though, I think I would be that cocky too. Like I would still think that people remember me. But
it was also like 14 years ago.
People still remember Janelle. People still remember
Because she's been on Big Brother 3 times.
Okay, fine. That's a fair assessment. People still remember Meow Meow. No problem.
You know, some people are just more memorable than others.
Maybe she thought she was more memorable. Fair.
Maybe they gave her America's favorite house guest because they felt bad that the brigade took her to the final 4, and then we all knew she was going to get cut, even though she didn't know, but we all knew.
Yeah,
that's it.
TVs,
she was also
so they probably felt bad and gave her the America's favorite house guest.
Maybe, but that's
Maybe.
it. But the brigade was a big alliance, so you would think we would still remember.
But that's how inconsequential she was to their actual game.
I remember the brigade very easily, and I did not remember her.
Yeah, that's very bad.
At all.
Clean sweep. Memphis, who was in her season, didn't even give her a little sympathy vote. No dice. Get out of here. And I think she knew it.
Oh yeah.
Right away, like even in her speech, she was just like, "Hey guys, nice playing with you." Blah blah blah. So I don't know why Kevin was still all sobbering and sad. I guess he wasn't in on that she was going out. I don't know. But yeah, clean sweep. She's out of here. She had to put on her mask, practicing social distancing from Julie, and had some pretty cheesy goodbye messages. And yeah, that's it. Keisha, you're on out of here, and you won't be missed.
Did you see how many times people called her sweet in the goodbye messages? That's what you do to the nice person who's old and you just feel bad, but you don't really feel. It's like a sorry, not sorry. Like, I am so sorry, sweet Keisha, but we still love you. It's like, okay, bye. Now let the real people get to the game.
Yeah,
That's how I
straight
felt.
well, that's it. It is what it is. Someone had to go, and I'm glad it's her out of everyone that is there, because I think she was the one I hope was a filler and a sub, and they didn't actually think like, oh, she'd be really great to have.
If I was in the Big Brother house, she would have been someone I would have put up on the block right away anyways. Like, that was just my first impression from, I always pretend like I'm in the house when I watch. Yep.
Which, by the way, Big Brother Canada, guys, you can apply right now, and you can send your audition tapes. By the way, you don't have to imagine, because Big Brother Canada's auditions are up, and you can already apply.
I've applied so many times.
That's it.
And I never get picked.
I've never applied. I'm thinking about it.
Cupcakes one day. I was on Global. They should have picked me that year.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Either way, definitely there won't be any in person. So get LHD Productions to do your video.
Yeah, right? He did my first video.
There you go. So get him to do your second one, and that's it. We'll see what happens, because everything's online now, so everyone's gonna have the same playing field in that regard. And
So does this mean you applied?
I didn't apply yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to, though. I feel like we all should. As the fanatics, it just wouldn't make sense for us not to now.
Oh, that commitment. The commitment. It's the time commitment that has me never having applied. I don't know if that makes me a real bad workaholic, but it's the time.
You mean of having to leave work to go on the show?
Yeah. Being gone and family. I don't know. It's never.
That's like trivial to me. That's like the last thing on my mind. Like, yeah, you'll miss them, but like, you'll miss them, and whatever it is. But it's also Big Brother, and it's like if you get, you shoot your shot, and if you get picked, then you'll think of all that stuff. But you're like, what? I got picked?
Yeah.
Like, no point in worrying about that until you get picked.
And that's it. And then, but if you get picked, you're still screwed, because if you're only worrying about that now when you get picked, then you'll just be...
Yeah, but the excitement of getting picked will make you be like, oh, well, it's not that long and I'll make money. Like...
Yeah, that's true. That's valid. And whatever, you can get stuff from them when you're in the house if you get HOH. So all the more power for you to do better in the house and motivate you. Like, there's certain people who just never have won HOH. And Memphis, which... I guess we should get to that now. Since
we should probably get back to the show.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was my leeway, guys. That was my segue to get there. Thank you. So Memphis, who has never won HOH, is now finally, an HOH winner by playing the Zoom. I don't know if it was actually called the Zoom competition, but the Zoom family competition, which, I guess, cool.
Cool. He won. But I loved how it was like two people out all the time. Like, everybody was getting tripped up. I loved the standouts in that competition, like the top 5 that were there. Like, I was like, oh my God. I'm going to be honest, the only person I didn't want to win was Memphis. But yeah, it was great. I was like, I really enjoyed that competition. How do you guys feel about the last question, though?
What was the last question?
So the last question was about the flower vase on the back.
Right, in the bathroom.
The bathroom with Grandma, yeah. Bailey's little comment afterwards is what makes me go, ooh, this might be trouble. She said, yeah, but there was no flower in it.
Oh.
So I was like, I thought it was a pretty clear-cut question. I'm not on Bailey's side, but it made me go, this is an interesting way to hear how her brain works,
But wait, why did she not? Because there was no flower.
Because they called it the flower vase, so in her head, she's like, well, there was no flower in it, so I guess she wasn't expecting it to be that vase, or I guess she just confused herself in that sense.
Oh,
maybe.
so she didn't, because it was a vase with flower patterns, no?
Yes.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the flower pattern is on the vase.
That's what I saw too, but then I didn't want to go back and rewatch the scene because not that invested.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If she was like, there's no flowers in it, then it should be because the pattern is probably on the vase.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just her trying to make an excuse for not winning or trying to
which was my point, which is where I was like, oh, this could get messy if there's that kind of an excuse every time for other things. It's just an interesting peek into her psyche.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but again, not necessarily like her honest psyche though. That's just her trying to manipulate like, oh no, but I didn't win because of that. Like, I don't think she legitimately thought, hey, there was supposed to be a flower in the vase. I think she just lost. No? Or you actually think...
No. I think you're right. But she did listen her season 2.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's back to her old tricks. I mean, it didn't work then. Why would it work now?
I hope not. I don't know. It was just also that only one person got it right. So I wondered if I thought it was a clear-cut question, but maybe it wasn't because up until that point, it was pretty only one or two people were wrong on the questions rather than everybody but one. So I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have either way though. If anything, if anything, flower is on any kind of vase, whether it's in it or it's the pattern or it's a zigzag flower or whatever have you, I'm gonna think, oh, that's what they meant. Whether you saw the flower thing or not, because I personally didn't when I was watching the videos, and then when I rewinded it, I was like, oh, okay. But whatever, the videos go by so quick, and I don't know what they're looking for, and I don't know how they do it perfectly. I'm at home, comfortable, eating my popcorn and drinking my drink and watching, and I missed it, So kudos to them or Memphis for getting that.
Definitely.
And that, I believe, was it. They pretty much just ended with Memphis winning. Memphis mentions, hey, this is my first HOH, which is great. Great for him. Cool. He's going to get to see photos of his fam jam and experience the HOH room. And I don't think, that was pretty much it. Tune in on Sunday for Big Brother All-Stars for the nominations. And who else will take on the safety suite? Right?
That's pretty good.
Oh,
yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Thank you. Many days practicing in front of the mirror on that one. No.
Or they'll be like, who will Memphis put up for elimination?
Find out on Sunday on Big Brother. Oh, by the way, I get it, it's COVID times. I get they can't really do much, but oh my God, the intro. I am not a fan.
Really?
I didn't notice it. It's different, but I don't know why they couldn't do the old one.
I noticed it was different, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know why they couldn't do the old one, considering that all you need is a green screen and you could you could safely distance with the camera,
Yeah, and that's it. I guess they just kind of figured we're not going to spend any more money on this. No one necessarily cares for the intro, but I did miss it. I did miss it just popping up as a thing, hey, and then you see all their stuff in the background. So
I'm not mad at it, but it's different.
That's it. I'm not mad. I'm like, whatever. It's COVID times. Things change. I'm like, why isn't there? I'm like, oh yeah, because they can't. But that's not to say that they can't have a kind of a green screen type of setup in the house or whatever and just have one of their cameras looking at them and doing a whole photo thing. But I guess whatever, they don't care. They don't probably want to spend time on it, or maybe they will. Maybe they'll randomly listen to this podcast and they'll be like, oh, so people notice, people care, maybe we'll do it.
Maybe they'll hire you to start writing stuff.
Oh, I mean, that would be grand.
We don't want to do it. You do it.
Talk
about dream job, though. I'd love to be an actual Big Brother producer who watches these live feeds all day and then tells the editors what to edit on the show. You imagine getting paid to watch Big Brother all day long?
You say that now. Wait until you're doing it. You give it one day. No, You'd go crazy.
No, I'd love it.
Yeah, it's not fun until it becomes a job. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, unless you're the cake boss. You love doing
Because
that.
like
That's
it's also like
totally different.
it's kind of like you're always in gossip, right? Because you see how like Julie, when she talks to people, she talks like a fan. She talks
Yeah.
like they watch and they talk amongst each other in the staff room, or you know what I mean. The producers, they talk to each other about like, oh, did you hear this? Because like obviously you can't be there 24/7, so people are shifting, the work. But it could be like, oh well, this happened before and that happened before. So like when Julie talks about it, you could tell that like they have the inside gossip because they are there watching all day.
Well,
and I'm like,
I'm
this would
sure
be
someone
so
gives
cool.
her notes. I'm sure
Oh,
someone
for sure.
gives
But
her
I
notes.
know she watches a lot too. Like, and she probably gets all the inside scoop from everyone inside. But like,
I mean, yeah, this is her whole life for like the entirety of the season, right?
so I'm saying you have to be a
Yeah.
fan of the show to be able to like do this job. So I feel like the people that do it like must really enjoy it because it's Big Brother. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's still work. So you can come home at the end of the day and be like, oh, I'm tired and it's work. But like, it's a fun job to have. I think, in my opinion.
Because it's also as you're not going to see drama all the time either, huh? You might go like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of them doing nothing, of them talking about randomness, of like you have to be like alert, like you have to have a lot of coffee if you're a coffee drinker. It's
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
They shift people, so you could do an 8-hour shift. They just have 3 people doing an 8-hour shift, and when something juicy pops up, you obviously have to write it down or note
Right.
it for the editors and stuff, et cetera, et cetera.
To any former Big Brother producer who would love to have a conversation and talk about what they can talk about, whether Canada or US or Australia or whatever other Big Brother one there is, by all means, guys, please give us a shout at Real Talk Radio 8 on Twitter, and we would love to have you on the show because that would be interesting. And yeah, so in terms of the entire week, we've done the week. We're excited for Sunday. Who will Memphis nominate?
Do we have
with that-
predictions?
Hmm.
I think that'd be fun.
Well, I think they might try to hit it with, they might be lame-o potatoes and maybe hit it with a Janelle Kaysar since they know they can't do the safety sweep.
So yeah, maybe I don't know. I think they're gonna go even lamer than that. Kevin's gonna hit the block again.
I think so too. Yeah, I don't think Memphis will put up Keisha and Janelle.
Yeah, and then the only other person I think Memphis is just like indifferent about. Ooh, hard to say. I kind of hope Memphis pitches Enzo. I want to see what happens.
That's interesting because
I
Cody
wanna
will
see
be in
what-
a very tough spot.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what would happen.
Okay,
For
so-
the drama geek in me would want to see that. I would want to see him try to pitch Enzo.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
feel like
Memphis doesn't know about Enzo.
No.
No. Okay, just
No.
making sure. I don't know because Cody, I feel like kind of communicates with everybody, and I feel like Enzo knows but I'm sure Enzo knows about Memphis.
No.
You think
No.
he's just keeping them both completely separate?
Yeah.
I think they probably just think that they're friends or they're friendly and they have conversations, but I
Okay.
don't think that they think about each other in like that sense of like a deal.
I don't think so either.
Okay, fair enough.
See, I think that Memphis is if he's gonna go the lame route, I feel like it'll be a Kevin again, and maybe a Nicole or an Ian,
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
unless something happens for something to happen, and then that makes an easy target, et cetera, et cetera. But
Right,
We'll
so
see.
that's it. Okay, so what's your final answer then? Lame or not lame for his game? What is he gonna do, Steph?
I'd say Kevin and Nicole.
Cece?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll go Kevin, and yeah, probably. Gosh, this one's tough. This one's tough because there's too many low-hanging fruit. I wonder if he'll go for a David.
Good one too.
Yeah, Kevin and David. That would be to me that's an easy out, and I don't see Memphis making a big game move.
Are you saying Kevin and David just because do you guys think Memphis is kind of racist?
No, but I
No.
think it's also the easy choice subconsciously without having to think about
Mhm.
it.
Well,
So
Kevin for sure.
I'm thinking David
But why
because
David?
he doesn't have the time. He doesn't, this is an all-star season. I can see Memphis doing the like you need to earn your salt here kind of approach. And
Mm.
just because David is brand new, and I was trying to think about other people that maybe didn't get that far that weren't Kaysar and Janelle, and no one really popped to mind.
Mhm.
Because I don't think he'll go for a Danny, but he could, but I don't think he will. So,
Well, no, because Danny's in their alliance.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. She's in the company.
Yeah, so that's why it's like there's only so
Yeah.
many people he could choose from. But David's a really, really good guess.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, David.
It's just from a seasoned perspective of being like, no, this is all stars. We want people like, this is the last kick at the can for a lot of us. So
Yeah, no, I
but
agree.
that's also a
Yeah.
good point though, because he'll basically say, David, you didn't get anywhere. Like, why are you even here, bro? Like, I'm putting
Yeah.
you up, nothing personal. Just you got to earn your keep, prove yourself, win the power of veto kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's totally the perspective I'm going at. And then Kevin, he's already hit the block. He was a mess. He's such an easy easy nomination.
So that's it. So I see it going. Kevin's gonna be the pawn. Like Kevin's gonna be their go-to pawn, but
Yeah.
I see them backdooring. I see them
Poor
already.
guy.
I'm down for that. I'm down for his mental breakdown in that regard because that's the only thing that's entertaining about it, unfortunately. Because if I'm down for it. I don't know. That makes me a bad guy, but whatever. It's Big Brother. I'm here to be entertained. And so, yeah, but I do see them going after Janelle or Kaysar. So I see it.
Yeah, that's a possible backdoor scenario if it comes up.
I see them definitely trying to go for them, but not putting them up right away because they know that they should know at least that Janelle's a comp beast. Hopefully she still is. Not counting that 16-minute DJing competition because I'm still disappointed in her for that. Yeah, and so we'll see what happens there. Yeah, that's my go-to. So Janelle or Kaysar backdooring. Kevin is going to be their pawn block all the time, I feel. Cody is always going to go to that for Kevin, just because, bro, you got nothing else to lose here, and still kind of keep me safe. But Cody has to get his hands dirty. He's still trying to play that, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong, and I understand why he had Derek. Derek did all the dirty work, and Derek was so good at it. He got Memphis to do the dirty work for the other team. Cody has to get his game going in that regard because you can't be that silent guy for
He
so
doesn't
long.
see it as a weakness, though. That's the
Yeah.
problem. He thinks that this is how you win. What he doesn't realize is this is how you get second.
And he should know that because he was.
He
Because
doesn't
he's going
believe
to
it.
have to explain at the end what he did to be the champion, and he's not going to have anything to say.
Oh, but he's going to do the same thing? Jesus.
I
How
am
do you not
convinced
learn?
he's going to play the same game he tried to play with Derek. Nothing has proven me otherwise yet. I know we're only 1 week in. It's heavy judgment, but
Very, yeah. But, I mean, he even said it in his diary room.
mm-hmm.
That I'm here to prove that I shouldn't be second. And that's the whole him and Memphis thing. They both think they're going to be able to beat each other at the end and both have something to prove because they both came in second and in good duos. So I don't see why he's doing the exact same thing. The only problem is you don't have a Derek on your side, Cody. Derek was, I would say, one of the top 2 Big Brother greats of all time. Derek is up there with Will, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, like, what
I
are you
love
doing,
Derek.
bro?
I love
him. I think he's better
Derek.
than Will or Dan.
Oh, snap.
I think he played a better game than both of them.
I maybe think,
Loved his game.
yeah, he's definitely up there for sure. I don't know if he's better, but he's definitely up there with Will, Dan. Yeah, those big top 3 because Will, Dan was awesome.
Let's not forget, Kevin was never put on the block once. I mean, Derek was never put on the block once.
Not
Oh,
one.
snap.
He was never nominated.
Ever. Ever. So if that doesn't make him one of the best Big Brother players in history, I don't know what does.
Yeah, that's valid. It's that cop instinct, I tell you. You know
The
what I mean?
undercover. I mean, he went under a transformation. Do you remember the montage at the end of his season? Of like him walking in with like dad bod, really clean cut, looks like a cop, and at the end he was like
Super buff.
super buff and like wearing caps all the time, and like his language changed. He totally evolved to fit in.
Yeah, I'm so mad. I would have much more preferred Derek back, but I feel like he has nothing to prove. I mean,
Exactly. If I was him, I would never come back again. I played a perfect game, never nominated. I won. I'm done. I don't need to come back.
Boom. That's it. Any predictions on the safety suite? Anyone else going to be using it? I guess we just really don't know until it happens.
No.
But
I don't know. I think there's nothing else we can predict so far.
I don't think so.
fair. Although I think Kevin's always going to be a pond, I feel like Kevin's going to end up using the safety suite because I feel like he's going to be so paranoid and just want to protect himself for a week.
Maybe.
Maybe week 3 if it happens again this week. He's going to be like, hell no, not again.
But I certainly do enjoy his diary room stuff. He's so much more animated in the diary room and then so annoying when talking to the house guests, which leads me to believe that it is a front. He wants to play the sympathy card. I don't necessarily know if it's intimidation and that he's just putting that as a front. I think he thinks the sympathy card is going to get him far, which it won't. Or it won't for a long period of time. Yeah, and that's it. All this to say, I'm excited for Sunday, and we'll certainly see what happens. I will certainly be checking out those live feeds before Sunday's episode because I just can't wait, and I need my Big Brother fix. So, Big Brother fanatics, thank you once again, Steph and Cece.
Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure. Thanks. It's great to have a group of Big Brother fanatics to talk all excitingly about. And when we watched Tuesday's episode, I was like, oh my God, did you guys watch? Yeah, I watched. I'm like, okay, we'll do it at the end of the week, though. We'll do it at the end of the week. And I was like, no, but I want to talk now. No. But, it's good. Once a week, it's perfect. We recap everything. It ends up being a nice little episode. And then we can go back to it at the end and be like, okay, so this is what we talked about. This is what we did. This is what we thought. And it's going to be interesting to see how we did it weekly by weekly. And yeah, so thanks again, guys. Steph, where can they follow you and where can they see what's going on in the world of you?
At Stephanie's Bakery 514 on Instagram. I post my cakes weekly. We're getting back up in the COVID times. Lance's cake account is Hustle and Cake, but you know what? I'll actually promote his new Instagram, which is at JS No Regard, where he's been promoting his dad life as a dad with Brady, and his video stuff because he's been getting back to work with the sports being picked back up in the city. So he's back at work and his video life is kicking up now. So I'll shoot him a little bit of promo.
There we go. Nice. Yeah, by all means. Yeah, so we call her the cake boss in Montreal, and it's for a reason. Those cakes are awesome. So if you guys are in Montreal, you need a cake for an in-house party with your family because you shouldn't be having too much of a big gathering or want some cake pops or
more than 10 people.
No more than 10 people. But if you're outside, it's $250 right now. So maybe have yourself a backyard gathering, social distance, and have some cakes from Stephanie's Bakery because they're awesome. Check them out. Check out her Instagram. If you see what you like, shoot her a message. I'm sure she'll tell you what she has, and she's customized in that regard. You can ask for anything you want, and so check that out. Cece, I know you didn't have anything last week, but just in case.
I don't have anything to plug, except that there is Rice for Ramadan is a fundraiser for artists in Guinea to get through the rainy season because COVID got rid of all of their money-making season. So yeah, if you have something to donate, much appreciated. It goes directly to the artists, and there's videos every week on those deliveries. It's Rice for Ramadan.
So great.
So yeah.
So
Perfect.
great.
And we will also have that link down below on the podcast too, wherever you are listening to us. That will be down below as well. And we'll also include where you can find out more about that, just what's happening there and so on too. That's not a
Awesome.
problem for sure. And of course, you can follow me. Personal account is on Twitter at JLB420. Real Talk Radio is the brand at Real Talk Radio 8. Anchor.fm/RTR. We are doing sports talk, video game talk. We're doing a little bit of everything. And of course, we always got the Big Brother going on as well. RealTalkRadio.online is the website, which is slowly being updated. There's not enough time in a day. So that is getting done slowly but surely. And I think I'm done plugging myself. I'm going to unplug now. That's it. So thank you guys for listening. It has been a great Big Brother week. Here's to another great Big Brother week. And we'll see you next week on The Binge. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye. Stay safe.